Hello, Tony T back here with the Tony Six Morning Show. Welcome here to the show. We're going to break down, give you picks here from college football. We've got the W and the Global Series from the NHL. Let's say hello to Cappers, and we'll get right to the picks. Ronnie, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much, Tony. Another winning day. Can't complain about that. And, I almost put UTEP in as a premium. Thank goodness I did not. Thank goodness I did. Thank goodness I didn't do that. I two-stepped away from that one there.
No, that's right.
They tried early to try to hang with Sam Houston. They just don't have the offense to keep up. And as it seems, Sam Houston's offense definitely just pulled away late and won by 3 touchdowns. It is what it is. Didn't think that we would get that many points in that game, to be honest with you. Got me on the
UTEP just couldn't stop the run, man. I mean,
they couldn't do anything.
Guys run the ball too much. It's just
you
get that big of a gap. I don't care what trend stat outside of slipping something in the offensive line's food when they had dinner the night before,
and then
screw that up.
Yeah, and then Kirk Cousins and his primetime comebacks now. What's this guy doing? Kirk Cousins actually, everything evens out, right? Remember in the beginning he was so awful in these primetime spots, and now he's making up for those. Everything evens out.
He screwed up a lot of games. You retext that with him. When he was expected to win and get teams into playoffs, he choked. He's always been a good comeback guy or an underdog in primetime games. He'll always win those games, but choke the big one, right? Choke that big division game or whatever. But I said it yesterday, dude. He's a gamer. I mean, I don't care what his stats are. You know, and I went against him. But I was sitting there laughing. I hope Minty's okay. I hope she's not in therapy.
Oh, she's all right. Yeah, she's fine.
I know how much she hates Kirk Cousins.
I got the text. I got the text from her. Yeah, that's she was.
She got her interception, so at least she was happy with that, right? That she got the interception. So Kirk Cousins threw that interception, so she was able to cash on that. So that was a good one. She was happy with that, but she wasn't happy that he won. Definitely not.
All right, we got Jorge. What's going on, Jorge? Good day again.
Just chiming in, looking for some baseball stuff. You know, I put out a great late steam yesterday with Sam Houston State. You know, just checking them out and man, when there's bad defenses, there are bad defenses, man. And, we'll see some of that today a little bit. I'm a bully better, but the schedule changed up on us a little bit this time, guys, just because of the realignment, right? We lost some of those bully betting games that I like to do in September, but I won't do in conference. And we had like a mini rivalry week in the middle of September. So it's kind of switched our betting schedule around. So last week, I think I broke even a little bit, lost the game maybe in college football, but won yesterday. Now looking to just switch my gears a little bit, take a step back and say this isn't really conference football yet. There's still some mismatches out there, and we got to try to find some good defenses to beat up on still. I'm not saying the whole card, but 1 or 2 can't hurt you.
That's right. But what's going on, Bo?
Houston's not very good.
What's going on, guys? Coming off a nice day, man. I really appreciate old Cousins coming back and that win for me, man. That was a really good game. Over 500 yards, man. So you can work out a record or something. So good day, man. We're 3-0, swept the board. Looking to get this money today, man. Let's get it.
That's good. Yeah, I went to 2-1 yesterday. Missed with Troy, but had the Falcons. I like that spot for them, and also to the under. I thought I should have had the first 5, and I think I called 0-0 after 6. I wish I blew it. I had on the drive-thru. I said this could be 0-0 after 6. It's going to be a bullpen game from the 7th on. That's what it turned out to. What a wild game that was with Mets. Alonso with that home run there in that opposite field home run, and there of course that walk. You walk the leadoff guy in that situation, man.
How many guys did they leave in scoring position to start the game? Like every inning, every half inning, there's a guy on second base, at least second base. I was like, oh, here we go again. I got greedy. I saw plus 110 on the over. I was thinking about how tired the bullpens were going to be. And I switched. I didn't go under. I took the over. I got greedy. I saw the plus 110, but at the end of the day, even so, there was 4. What was it? With 4-2, 4-2 with the guy batting. It was right there. I mean,
it was right there.
The first guy gets on first base with no outs. You know what I mean? You're in the game.
Right.
So, but that's how crazy baseball is, man. That was a horrible bet for 8.5 innings, right? Almost 8.5 innings. Then all of a sudden you're in it, with one guy on first base and no outs.
Swing him away to make it 8-8, 4-4.
Make it 4-4, and then you're
that's why I'm looking for info, guys.
But the problem is you didn't have the Mets bullpen in there. You had Peterson in there. the close.
And he's taxed, man. That poor guy. How much is he pitching the last 3 days? He's going to end up like your Dallas Chapman throwing all curveballs.
Diaz. I mean, you look at how many pitches Diaz had his. Well, he's never. I forgot what his pitch count was, but he had the most ever in his career in last 7 days.
Last 7 days.
Last 7 days.
I think team totals might be the way to go with the Phillies, man. Those guys got to be taxed.
Yeah, they're totally taxed. All right, speaking of tax, let's tax this. Let's just do it. Let's try and get these games in here from college football. So here we go. We got 4. We'll start with these 2 here: Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Houston, and TCU. Let's get it on over with Rod.
Yeah, and I'm going to take TCU, and I'm going to lay it. You look at this Houston team, and they're awful. They've played 5 games this season, and they've scored a total of 54 points in those 5 games all season long. So talking about bad defenses, bad offenses, this Houston team is not good. I think this is one of those spots that TCU over the last couple of weeks have struggled at times, but I think this is one of those hey, let's beat the snot out of Houston, just because it's one of those get right spots, and I think TCU is one of those teams that will run it up. So I think they win by 21 plus. Give me TCU in that one. And then I want to take the dog in Kennesaw because they've been battling this season. They're not a bad team, but I can't do it. I think it's the other way. I think you got to look at Jacksonville State, and I think they can run the ball, and I think they just run it right down the guts of Kennesaw State and eventually pull away late. I like the over there. I think we get enough points. Give me the over 49 there.
Over 49 points there. We move on over to Jorge.
Yeah, there's no way in the world you take Kennesaw State, man. That's like and Jacksonville State comes from the other side, right? They had to replace a lot of guys. I get that. Change their quarterback, and this one could throw. So now they're actually a little bit more of a throwing team than they are a running team. They just have to go with the talent they got. But that Kennesaw State, dude, it's literally the worst offense in all of football. It's one of those schools that jumped up probably too soon, or at least didn't have a senior-laden team when they made the move. They're bad. And Jacksonville State's going to run it up. Jacksonville State played a talent, a tough schedule to start. They need the money, right? They're a small school. Yeah. They got to play that. They got to go get that $3 million. Even UNLV gets it when they go play at Michigan and all that. They get $1.7 million for their program. So that's what they have to do. And they come back Conference USA. Just that classic example, man. Jacksonville State is going to run that ball over and be able to throw. Kennesaw State is actually decent defensive line, but I think it's because the secondary is so bad. So you can see Jacksonville State, they're going to run it up. They're definitely, one to want to get that back. Houston is not that, but dude, Houston is good on defense. With the offense that is that bad, the fact that they can keep teams around 20%. Remember who the coach is over there. That's the old Tulane head coach. It's only a matter of time before they start clicking. And you know what? This TCU teams looks like the old Houston teams. Did you see what their combined score is a game? 70-something points a game. They play absolutely no defense. If there's a game that Houston can actually get some offense going, because they're not going to get a lot of resistance, it might be in this one. I'm not going to say full blown on Houston. Actually, I'll lean on Houston on this one plus the points. The total, I'm not too sure about. I'll root for the Vegas kid, I guess, a quarterback over there for Houston. But they replaced 4 offensive linemen, 2 receivers, and a new offensive coach and coordinator. We've talked about this. They need an opportunity to where they're not going to get a bunch of pressure on them, and they can move the ball a little bit, slightly into Houston in that one. TCU's a better team, no doubt.
There from Jorge, move on over to Bo.
Yeah, man, then we're going to make a trifecta with the Jacksonville State. Just come with that 44-point, 38-point win against Southern Mississippi. This Kennesaw State team has only scored 2 offensive touchdowns. So, not really going to back them in. So, give me Jacksonville State, lay the big points. And that Houston game, I'm looking at the under, man, 51.5. I think that Houston will come in there and try to slow it down. Like he talking about really fresh. He likes to do that option and run the ball. He always have good defenses. And I just don't trust TCU to put up the point to get it up and over. So they would see like a 31-10 type of score, man. So give me the under 51 in that TCU game.
All right, Bo says under in this one. Tell you what I think about this one. I think I'm going to be chalky here. Looking at Jacksonville State here, laying that points. Owls have been held to 16 or fewer points this season. They just come off a loss to an FCS team, Tennessee Martin, putting up 13. Just a poor offensive production here. 2.6 yards a carry, inefficient quarterback play, and giving big plays in the passing game. And Gamecocks getting good quarterback play this year. So I'll look at Jacksonville State for Rich Rod. getting corner, throwing the football. Last year he was just running it down people's throats. This year throwing.
This kid's got an arm. Apparently, he came in. He wasn't even the starter at the beginning of the year. The first starter was choking. This kid came in and could throw. So that's good coaching.
Yep.
Maximize what you got.
Coach to your player strength, not to your system. Sometimes it takes a while to learn that.
You're in a small school that's got no budget, and you're not even a G5. You got to do it. Technically a G5, but building the program to a G5, he's got to take advantage of whatever he's got.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I'll look here at again TCU in this spot. It's just the offense struggling here. 6.3 yards per pass attempt, not running the football. TCU with a really good passing attack. I'll take him in this spot. All right, let's continue on here on the Tony Jukes Morning Show. Let's continue here with the final two games on this Friday college football card. And we've got on the schedule here Michigan State, Oregon, Syracuse, and the Rebels of UNLV. I wonder who Jorge will be on. We'll start with Rod.
Well, we know where he's going to be on. That's one of those rare homer plays for Jorge. He's not just wearing the hat to sport the hat. He's look at give you that look too. Got to figure that look was coming. It is what it is.
You don't know what the helmet is. That's just bullshit.
Okay, maybe yes. You don't see it in this hat. You're not. Yeah, right. For me, and that's what I'll leave the Syracuse and UNLV to Jorge in that one. And Michigan State taking on Oregon. You look what Oregon did last week, and they can still play some defense, and they have an offense. I think they took their foot off the gas last week against UCLA. They were really going to throttled UCLA if they gave it 150%. I think they were looking forward to beating up on Sparty in this one. I think their defense is just too much. That defense held UCLA to 3.75 yards a play. I think they can do the same to this young Michigan State offense as well. So, and then does Oregon run it up again? I don't know. I'm going to take the under 52. It was at 52.5. It's down to 52 in most places. Take the under Michigan State, Oregon.
There from Rod, move on over to Jorge.
Actually, I think Michigan State's a live play in this spot. They've had a lot of turnovers, man. They've turned the ball over 13 times through their first game. New coach over their coordinator. The key is where he came from, and I'll get to that in a second. So, that being said, their defense has been solid. They did get beat up by Ohio State last week, but again, it's the turnovers. You commit 3 turnovers, you're not going to win any game. You can't get your offense going. You can't get any drives going. Oregon's only forced 4 turnovers. So, it's just a matter of time before it kind of averages out and they're not turning the ball over 3 times a game. It'll come down to that. Oregon starts early, started slow. They have Ohio State next week. They're coming off blowing out UCLA. They got Michigan State coming in. Michigan State, they're thinking about Ohio State, not Michigan State. Michigan State, they're thinking about Oregon. The coach came from Oregon State. He knows the offense. He knows how to prepare for it. Not enough to win, but enough to keep it close and cover. Oregon gets a big lead, and Oregon's always been known for putting in their backups to give them plenty of experience so they don't transfer out. That's kind of been their MO for a long time. They let everybody get a chance in there. They don't just run it up with the starters. I think we'll see a little bit more of that, and a great flat spot to go against the Ducks here in the spot.
From Jorge, move on over to Bo.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think Michigan State going to be able to keep it close. Oregon come out that Friday game, so they're on a short week. Got Ohio State coming in the next game, so I think it might be a look-ahead spot, so catch me slipping. Dylan Gabriel injury prone, so if they get up big, I don't see no reason for them to don't win by margin, so I'll take them big points, man, with Michigan State. And I like UNLV, man. You know what I'm saying? They've been, looking pretty good behind Barry Odom. He 12-5 straight up since he been there. Big turnaround for this team, man. I think they were like 7-23 the couple years before then, so Syracuse, man, I didn't like the way they looked when they played Stanford, in that game. They was like 8 points, 9-point favorite, got beat straight up. I think it's going to be a tough game, man, for Syracuse. As long as we get on that key number of 7, I like UNLV -6.5.
Yeah, from Bo, I'll tell you what I think about here. I'm here too as well with Michigan State here plus to 23.5. Michigan State getting some action through the air, 7.8 yards per pass attempt through the air. They defend the run pretty well, but we know Oregon, man, really good numbers offensively. Running the football, get 4.3 yards a carry on the ground. So maybe Michigan State can get some yardage there on the ground here. But again, Oregon has failed to cover 3 of 4. Couldn't separate enough against UCLA to get that cover. Got that scare against hosting Boise State with that 3-point win. I'll look at taking the points there, Michigan State. as much as I like dogs, man, I just can't take Syracuse. I just can't. It's a long flight, short week. Syracuse had that loss here against Stanford, as Bo alluded to. But the key here is the fact that you look at UNLV and the offense productions they get here from the quarterback. With the quarterback change here was huge. We saw Haj Malik Williams throw the football effectively, run for 119 yards and a touchdown. Also, too, a big negative for Syracuse. This is their first road game. And that's I always have trouble with these teams. The first time on the road, now you're going to Vegas. We got the NIL number. We have the NIL money. I don't know how much Syracuse players have, but they got some gambling money now. if they're at
they ain't gambling, Tony. They're looking for more than gambling, brother. You better forget that. They're all partying, chasing tail. They ain't got nothing to do no gambling.
That NIL money now. They got some pocketbooks, and some of these guys are, they'll the guys that don't get it will probably get treated by their buddies that have the money. That's usually how it works. So, but this is not, of course, they're running the football for 5 yards a carry. But the defense too. We got, I know a lot of credit to the offense. You got to give UNLV's defense credit because we've seen some really bad defensive teams in UNLV. Let me tell you this, man, it's just been horrible. But you're giving up just 3 yards a carry, 58% completion rate, 6.3 yards per pass attempt. So it's not just the offense that's quarterback play and all this, an NFL type receiver. They got the defense that's how also contributing to the success of this team and this program. And that's the reason why I'll take UNLV here. It's just not just just an offensive team outscoring teams. They're holding teams down. So I'll look at it. Also, too, as a road dog, Syracuse just 1-6 of the spread. So I like UNLV in this spot.
Well, Tony, I'll go last, and then Brock can go last because he's probably going to pick Syracuse. But before he picks Syracuse, I'm going to say UNLV for one reason only is because they run the ball. And Syracuse can't stop the run. So they're going to be able to start everything they want there. And you're the only one that's halfway alluded to. I've read write-ups left and right. Everyone keeps talking about the NIL issue. The best player on the field for UNLV, and usually at anyone that they play against, is Ricky White, the wide receiver. It's not the quarterback. It's not the running backs. It's all Ricky White that came from Michigan State. So, as long as this Williams is connected with him and they can get in plays. Remember, he even scored a touchdown on a block punt. He's in there on the special teams. Barry Odom says he's the best special team player in the country. I mean, this guy's a first-round draft pick. He's the difference in the game. Williams can get him the ball. And again, it's just Syracuse not being able to stop the run. Tony, great points on all the defense. It's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a fun, high-scoring game, but UNLV secondary be opportunistic. McCord's thrown 2 interceptions each his last 2 games. Go ahead, Rod.
And I like the over in this one. Just said high-scoring shootout type game. You look at UNLV, they're going to be able to run the ball. They average, 5.7 yards per rush. And Syracuse giving up 4.6 yards a rush. So when you rush the ball 3 times, that's easily 10 yards. So I like UNLV to run it up. But that might lead to more of a lower scoring game. So I haven't completely got because if UNLV can hold the ball and keep it out of Syracuse's hand, because we know a lot more. So you need what UNLV needs to do here is take those long drives.
Time of possession, 35 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Hold the ball more than what you can because you know that Syracuse, when they get the ball, they're going to be quick strike because they're going to throw it against you because you know that UNLV can stuff that run. They are very good at slowing up the run, and Syracuse is going to throw the ball. So it could be the run versus the pass on offense in this one. So that's where it tends. Where I look at them going, at first I'm going, okay, well, we'll just get both teams scoring quick. Not if UNLV can slow up the game. They got to slow up the game and hold the ball as long as they can and keep it out of Syracuse's hands because, they're just going to throw it deep. So, actually, I think I talked myself into the under. I think we sneak into the under this one. I think you can select one of those high-scoring shootout type games, and I think it sneaks under the total. Give me the under here.
I could see that, concerning how Syracuse can run their offense here in this road situation. That's the concern. Also,
to become one-dimensional. So I'm going to give it to UNLV going, hey, at least we know what they're going to do. If they try to run it, we're just going to stuff it. So then we're going to force them to pass, and then they'll be ready for that pass. So UNLV can step up in the spot and slow up Syracuse. So give me the under here. The
thing with Williams is he's a young quarterback. Just make sure you run out of bounds. Don't take the hits across the middle. Don't try to make these hero runs. You're too valuable. You're too valuable as a quarterback. So you have to learn.
Bounce. Don't take the.
He's a big boy though.
Yeah, that is.
He ain't 6 foot. 195
What
pounds.
about the muscle tone?
He's
not like Jaden.
He's a big old grown man.
Remember when Jaden Daniels broke in for Arizona State? How skinny he looked. Remember that when he played as a freshman? You see him when he was a freshman. He looked really skinny when he broke into the league. All right, we got you through the. We got you through here the college football. Let's turn our attention to the W. We got an elimination game in the W tonight. It's a best of 3 series. We'll cover them here. Lynx and Sun. Looks like Sun favored 2.5 at home. Liberty and Aces. Aces looking to stave off elimination. Favorite 3 to 2.5. Let's start with Rod.
Yeah, and you look at these ones. It's tough. Vegas just hasn't looked like Vegas of the last 2 seasons. They definitely battled last game. I give it to them, but Liberty just keeps finding an answer to answer Vegas and get the win. What I like in this game is we've seen the under in the last the last couple. I think what steps up here is the offensive play. I think we get more of a track meet. If Vegas wants to win, they're going to have to score some points. And we seen Liberty score 85 last time. I think Vegas needs to get up there in the 80s as well, and that'll give us an over in that one. So I like the over between the Liberty and the Aces in that one. And then it's tough. This next one's tough. I'm waiting for a 3. I hope a 3 pops up, and then I'll jump on Minnesota. As I said in the video, Minnesota here in this spot. Minnesota off a home win. They're 14-3 this season. But you look, the Suns team, they battle as well in these spots, because after where is it? Let's see, the Connecticut game. You got to go with the under though. Only one way to go in that one. Sidewise, I'm waffling between the Lynx, because I think the Lynx off of a home win are like 14-3 this season off of a home win. It's going to be a battle. If there's a 3, I'm jumping on the Lynx +3, but just continue to keep taking this under. It just keeps continuing under. These 2 teams are the top 2 defensive teams in the WNBA for a reason. Give me the under in that one.
Under from Rod. We move on over to Jorge.
I'm not big on the WNBA, not because I don't like it, just because I haven't followed it. But I have, like I said, the ones I have caught on national TV have been Liberty and the Aces. Yeah, they go at it defensively. They go at it. They don't like to give each other a shot. They don't like to give each other an open shot. And it's professionally chippy. I mean, literally the whole game. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to pick them an over in that spot. So I'll lean to the under. I don't know it as well as Rod and Bo, but I'm going to stay with that under as well.
Under there from Jorge. Move on over to Bo.
Yeah, man, that Connecticut game, I'm with Rod on there. Just keep taking it under. I think the most points they done scored so far is about 147. Both these teams had the top 2 defense. They play slow as well. So give me the under in that one. And in that late game, man, I think Vegas gonna get the home win. They're 10-2-2 against the spread in the last 14. They covered the spread in the last game by 0.5 point. And also they're 5-1 straight up at the house, man, ATS as well. So give me Vegas to keep it alive.
There we go. Vegas keep it alive. Yeah, choice for Vegas folks here. Is it the football game or is it the WNBA game? So they got to make a choice. So let's see. Now when you have too many, a lot of sports, multiple sports city now. So now you got 2 going head to head. UNLV football and WNBA the Aces going up against UNLV tonight. So interesting to see how the attendance looks, but I'm sure they'll both throw well today. All right, so I'm looking here under in Liberty Aces. It's just pace of play is slow for both teams since the Olympic break, and defensive efficiency numbers solid actually more so on the Liberty side. So I look for a slower type game in this one. All right, continue here on the Tony Picks Morning Show. I know some of the cappers don't handicap NHL, so looks like some will pass like myself. But we got Rod who knows the NHL. Bo does too. Devils and Sabres, the Global Series. We got the Devils here favored about $1.38. Goal total 6.5.
And for me in this one, you look at this game in Prague in the O2 Arena, and for me here, how did the Devils do last season? If you bet every Devils game last season, you lost 21 units betting Devils games. They beat up bettors last season. Buffalo, they had their ups and downs and streaks. They only lost to 2 units if you bet every Buffalo game last season. But when I look at that stretch run down the end of the season, when Buffalo was out of it, they started to pick it up defensively. They started to play some better defense. It's holding teams to 2.6 down that stretch last season. And then they've added some pieces defensively, did Buffalo. Taking McLeod from the Oilers was beast. That was huge addition for Buffalo there. And the Devils, I just not a fan of Devils. They pick up Markstrom. Woo! Congratulations, you picked up a Calgary goalie. He's a 500 goalie at best. He went 23-23. He's got a 905 save percentage. And he does, I'll give it to him. He's got a sub 3 goals against. It's like 270, 280. But I don't trust Markstrom. I've seen him too many times where he has bad games. So I lean to an over here. I think we see some goals. But I got to go with Buffalo in the dog here. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he had himself a winning season, and he is the better goalie in this situation. Buffalo's better defensively as well. And they've got enough snipers on Buffalo to get the job done. We've seen Buffalo early. They're always quick starters out the door where they're ready to go and pump. And then we see the fall off. We wait for the fall off after. So give me Buffalo here in this one.
Yep. Buffalo there from Rod. We move over to Bo.
Yeah, man, I think we're going to see some goals on this one. Last 10 games for the Devils, 7-3 over the total, giving up an average of 4 goals per game. Let's go ahead and take this first game up and over to 6.5.
And there we go from Bo. I don't handicap NHL. I don't even post any premiums. But we'll ask Jorge, what about you? I don't remember you talking much NHL back in the day. Although you do have a Vegas team now over there.
They lost last night 3-1 in the preseason games. But I got friends that can't spell hockey. If you spotted them, the O and the E. But they were at the game, and you know what? I don't even think they know it's preseason. But they took pictures and showed all the stuff they bought. They bought a big gold bag, and I was like, yeah, nice. Yeah. I ignored them. I was watching football.
But now picking the Gold Knights at all? That's right.
No, I mean I root for him to win, but I mean if I got a ticket and I had a friend that was a super hockey fan, like just addicted like everybody else, I'd give it to him because he'd enjoy it more.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I want to ask Ron a question. Of course, we saw the Kings in Quebec win that preseason game because they used to have a AHL franchise up there in Quebec, so that's where they did that. But there's rumblings now that Quebec may be on a list now to get a team up there. Now that they're looking to expand.
Quebec's been trying to get their team back, the Quebec Nordique for years. So and the rumblings are back that they're going to be the Nordique. You got to remember where did Colorado come from? The Quebec Nordique. That was the team that they moved into Colorado. So Quebec's like, hey, we want our team back. And they're like, hey, if Winnipeg could get their team back after so long, then we want our team back. So does Quebec get their team back? I think they do. NHL's looking to do an expansion again. They're looking at Atlanta to get another team back. Yeah, exactly, right? They're looking for Atlanta to do the Thrasher thing again. And they're looking to throw a team in Quebec.
That's better.
So, yeah, they're looking at another 2-3 team expansion here at the NHL.
Yeah.
And then they want to expand the regular season, add to throw a couple more games in there, and then do like the NBA and throw 3 or 4 more teams into the first round of the playoffs and make it a little more exciting in the NHL. Make things longer so we can have hockey longer.
Around.
Like 10 months isn't long enough. We need at least another 10 and a half months of hockey going on.
That's right. Yeah, we start hockey in October. The last game will be in June. So we got 8 months, and you don't count training camp. That's 9 months of training.
The problem is it's the middle of July, and then what happens is you're playing a Stanley Cup final in a hot environment. And that puck starts going like this, and it's all over. The guy goes to get the puck, and it goes woo right over his stick.
Well, I don't know. I think they may have made adjustments. I know that back in the day, the Forum used to have the worst ice in the world, but they've done some adjustments. Staples Center does that issue. We know in Vegas they play hockey. Florida they play hockey. So I think
it wasn't bad in the Stanley Cup final, but we did see a bouncy puck. There was some bouncy puck there. We definitely seen a few times that we bounces puck. So players get used to that bouncy puck. So. But the Ice Makers are definitely improved of what they did in the 80s and 90s of making the ice in these arenas.
You know where the Zamboni machine was invented? What city was it? Where was it invented, Rod? The Zamboni machine?
The Zamboni machine? Yes. I'm not sure. I'd have to.
Culver City, California, of all places.
Was it? California? Wow.
I would have never guessed in a million years.
I've gotten drunk and done the Culver Walk.
Yeah, that's right.
Along the cove, it's just a bunch of little bars. It's the bay right underneath the marina.
Yep.
And that's all it is. But they got a bunch of real good restaurants right there, and they filmed a bunch of movies there too.
Well, if you're ever in the area, go to Johnny's Pastrami. They have the best pastrami over in Southern California. I've been there long. It's been a while, but it's very
Have you been? I forgot the name of it, but they have a great Italian place that keeps up their Christmas stuff all year long.
Oh goodness, no, I don't remember.
I
that.
can't remember what the name of it is. It's right towards the beach. Right towards the beach. It'll come to me. But
Got it.
Fantastic food.
It's October. It's time for some schnitzel.
Yeah, it is. It's October month, and now it's time for our parlay peripheral thing, where the Cappers can give it a parlay, a player prop, maybe an advanced game from NFL college football. We'll start with Rod.
So we're gonna go a two-teamer. We're gonna take the over 1.5 in the first period in the New Jersey Devils and Buffalo game. I think that first period we can easily get 2 goals in that one. So take the over 1.5 first period, and then we're gonna throw in the other one is TCU. Lay the points with TCU. Houston's in trouble. They can't score anything. You have to score points to win games, and when you're sporting 2 back-to-back goose eggs, you definitely want to score some points. Take the under team total of Houston too, but that two-teamer, take the over 1.5 in the first period, and take TCU lay the points. They win by 21 plus.
All right, we go on over to Jorge.
I'll take Michigan State. Plus 24 points. I just think the coach being familiar with Oregon State, and it's circled on his calendar. You know what I mean? And because several players came over with him, and they've been playing horrible. They've just been turning it over, and that's one thing. One thing we can't score no points, you can't throw it. You can't disagree with anything Rod's saying about Houston. But when you got some talent and the ability, and you're just constantly making errors can stop. You know what I mean? But they're still moving forward and trying to make plays. So definitely take that. Oregon, man, they're all psyched about being in the Big Ten and having to go play a real Big Ten game. They're not thinking about Michigan State about anything except that they have to go. They want to come out of that game with injuries. I think that's the biggest thing Oregon wants out of that. So I would take that. And I'll parlay that over to the over in UNLV. Both those guys. McCord's legit. The dude could throw the hell out of the ball, and he's throwing for 330-something yards every single game, but he throws a lot of picks. So the turnovers is where I think is much. UNLV runs it up, dude. When they don't go into prevent offense, they don't go into prevent defense. They keep going. They keep running the ball. Keep trying to get in open space, and they keep blitzing the quarterback. He doesn't stop. Throughout the look, he put 28 points up against Fresno State. Was he trying to make a point? Yes. One of them was a kickoff return. It's just team speed, man, and he keeps rotating guys and gives them opportunities. And he's not running it up. He's not throwing bombs. They're throwing sweeps. They're throwing their little option. And when the other team's tired of the option and you got fresh legs back there, I think it keeps the score going. I just think UNLV makes less mistakes than them in that spot, and it goes over.
And they look in shape too. They don't look like their stomachs aren't over their.
No, they're fast, dude.
Remember what we used to see back in the day?
My buddy stood up. I go, hey guys, they're fast. I go, and they hit hard, all of them. Not even the little dudes hit hard. And when we were driving home, they go, man, you weren't kidding, because they expected, like Tony said, to be horrible, fat, out of shape, get blown out. and they walked out. I was stunned, even though I knew that they're good. We were all stunned when we walked out, but they're fun to watch, man. I'm happy we're here, and hopefully they'll give them enough money to stay.
That's right. Over to Bo.
All right, man, I'm going to go to that Connecticut game. I like Elizabeth Thomas over 14.5 points. She covered this in the last 4 out of 5 against the team she playing tonight, Minnesota. And last year, she went over there total in every game she played against them. We're going to put that in the same game parlay with Connecticut on the money line.
All right, there you go from Bo. I'll give you a game. I'm going to give you a game from college football Saturday, the handicap last night. Hawaii, San Diego State. Hawaii has played 2 FCS teams. I mean, what do you do that for? Now you put pressure. You got to win when you play 2 FCS teams, now you got to win 7 or 8 games. I don't know how because they played 13 games. I don't know how their bowl eligibility is going to work here. But a lot of their stats have been inflated by facing those 2 FCS teams. And their FBS games, their offensive numbers were not very good. So I like the under here, Hawaii and San Diego State, to go under a total of 48.5. Because if you look at Hawaii's stats, just remember one thing. They have played 2 FCS teams, Delaware State and Tennessee Martin. So those numbers have been inflated. So just look at the stats from the FBS there in Hawaii, and it's not the same. It's definitely night and day difference. I don't understand why this total is so high. I thought this would be under in the high 30s based on San Diego State's inability to do anything. I look at that numbers. What the heck is they just played 2 FCS teams? And We got to figure out how that works in the bowl eligibility there with Hawaii, because they do play the 13 games because they get, because a lot of travel expense. College football allows them that one extra home game over everybody else, so they get the 13. As do other teams that have to fly in Hawaii. They get that extra game too at home.
You like Hawaii there? Lean Hawaii? Lean Hawaii?
I can't lean. I cannot
trying to talk yourself out of it.
I cannot lean Hawaii in that game. Not at all. It's tough. I mean, again, there's two tough. FCS opponents already. Yeah. Half your games have been against FCS teams. And I just look at the handicap there, and I guess San Diego State had a better showing last week against Central Michigan, lost on the field goal at the end of the game. They kicked one to go up, and then they gave up one late, which was tough.
Gave up one late, yeah. That was a crazy game late.
That was because I had Central Michigan to win the game.
I was like, come on!
You did. I had to root that one home. That was a rough one.
Right?
All right, let's find out what the guys have for sale at Tony's Picks headed to a big weekend of college football. We got the W in there. We got NHL in there. We got the baseball play. It's a football. There's so much going on right now. What a great time of the year, Rod. So let's find out with Rod. Rod having a great year at Tony'sPicks.com. What do you have for sale?
And over sale today. It's Friday, so it's Steak Friday. I've got a 5-pack going over at Tony's Picks today. That'll include my top play in the WNBA. You can pick up singly. I've also got my NHL sniper play of the day is back since NHL is back. You can find that daily, usually a daily play on anything going in the NHL. My NHL sniper play is available there. But now's the time. It's a Friday, so jump aboard that 3-day pass. That way you don't miss out on anything. I've got WNBA, I've got college football, I've got NHL, and we've got some MLB coming this weekend as well. And we've got more college football. I went 15 plays last week. 10-5, so it was a nice winning week. Looking to continue that stretch right on into this week's college football action. So grab that 3-day pass, join me for the weekend, and let's continue putting money into your pockets. Don't forget that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 50% off. And hey, take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional. You look at Jorge down there below me. He's been ripping up the college football as well. I believe he's the leader at Tony T's Picks right now in the college football. So take advantage, pair us up. Have 2 cappers putting money in your pockets.
Sure.
That's right. 2-for-1 cap promotion, really good value right now. So get on board there with Rod over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's take a look at Jorge now. Jorge having a great year here. 1,809 units of profit. What do you got for sale over at Tony's Picks?
Muted.
You're muted. You're muted. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to prevent my dog from making plays. But
he was going to take Houston.
He didn't like any of the dogs today. He's been pretty quiet. But I'm going to have a 3-pack today. Don't know the combination of it yet. Like everybody else, I'm just waiting for some good information on these baseball games. You think some of the unders might come into play here. I mean, tired bullpens. Talk about teams playing every single day. The Mets, being one of them. Dodgers already making changes. So who knows? But I am going to put a 3-pack up. Bo's been extremely hot as well over these last couple of days, and he has the WNBA going even with some props. So any of the combination, of even Tony's up there in the NFL for this weekend too. But I'm definitely still focusing on the late steam plays. You can do that with at least a 3-day package, week package. Just always know that and watch your email, because I'm definitely going to be looking for the best number I can get and/or information. Watching some line moves, man. That's something I've done my whole life out here, and certain ones I like, certain ones I don't. But I love it. As everyone knows, I love that late game feature. But definitely take advantage of the hot cappers over at Tony's Picks.
That's right. Sometimes, a lot of times that line service gets the information before the books, and it's always a great position to be in when you have that information before you see it activated there on the odds. All right, let's keep an eye here on Bo. Bo, a great WNBA this year. We got a couple up on the board. What do you have for sale over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, man, got my $19 best bet locked and loaded in the WNBA tonight in that Connecticut-Minnesota game. I also have a 3-pack that's already inside it. So if you want to get the best bet, go and get that 3-pack. And like we all say, guys, the long-term packages, man, is the best way to go. That way you get every pick put out. You got to worry about it. And that late steam, man, we talk about it every day. You know what I'm saying? We cash a lot of tickets with that. So you get them long-term subscription. The old play comes straight to your email box, man. So get some long-term, pairs up. Use that code TonyT, say that 15%. We definitely put some cash in your pocket.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Bo over at Tony'sPicks.com. Late Steam. For all you folks who buy the long-term passes, where it could be a 3-day, 7-day, 1 year, the cappers can post plays in the system between 10 minutes to 2 hours before game time. Those are flagged and recorded and documented as late steam. And those are emailed directly to your inbox. Not the other ones. The other ones are member plays. Those you get, they'll have them in there by 11 a.m. Eastern time. But the late ones, we allow our cappers to post picks late. But those are, again, emailed to you for the long-term subscribers. So that's a big benefit there to get the long-term passes. Remember, the one-day passes are also profit guaranteed. They must earn a profit or not purchased will be credited back to your account for side credits. That's profit guarantee. So 2 options, the long-term passes or the one-day passes that are profit guarantee. I got a best bet on the board right now. All right, that's going to do it here for our show. We're back tomorrow again, live with you guys here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We'll have the college football board covered for you, baseball playoffs as well. We'll have action for you as well from the single. We'll have the NHL early because it's a 10 a.m. Eastern start tomorrow. They play 3 hours early tomorrow. What do you got, Rod?
To answer that question there from Chris Perez in the chat, there is Penguins a free today? I don't know about that. That's still going to be a preseason game for the Penguins taking on the Blue Jackets, and the Penguins are going to start a rookie goalie out of the AHL. Joel Blomqvist is going to get the start for the Penguins in that one, and it'll be his NHL debut for him. He's looked well in the AHL, sporting a 2.16 goals against, 920 save percentage. So does it equate to the NHL? Not always. Usually we see some goals when they first kick off their career in the NHL. And on the other side, Columbus, they're still dealing with some really bad goalie issues there. So 3 goals and 3 goals. Take the over in that Penguins game as the free play. I don't know about the Penguins being a freebie on the board. That one. There's no ever freebies. I wish there was a free. Sometimes we can find ones that we know that feel like freebies that we're like we get really jacked up. But there are no freebies.
Just to avoid any confusion out there, there's only one regular season game. The Devils Sabres is a regular season game.
It's a regular season game. The rest
of
are all
them are preseason.
Wow.
Just so you know. So just so you know, it's not. It's this. The North American opener is next week sometime. Rod, did we say it was
October 8th? October
8th
8th is the kickoff, which is the Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday,
for the North American kickoff of the other one. I wish there were freebies all over. Let me know where the freebie betting ones are.
Yeah.
Where's the line for the freebie bets?
Jersey and Sabres play tonight and today and tomorrow. Tomorrow they play 3 hours earlier. So those are the only 2 regular season games this week. Next
weekend,
week, next week, Tuesday, everything. We're done with preseason.
Yeah.
Everyone's back in action. So today might be the last day of preseason. By the way, I think usually that's what they do. I don't think there's.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more. They might have a couple on the weekend. They might have some on Saturday. Let's see. Yeah, there's a few on Saturday. Yeah, few on Saturday.
All right. So just so you know, there's only the Devils Sabres will be the only regular season this weekend. Then Tuesday is when the North American openers start. And
they throw one on one day. I don't know why, but they throw one preseason on Monday. Make you guys go the one team. And Nashville playing Tampa on Monday, the only preseason game going. And then the regular season kicks off on Tuesday. Yeah, exactly. Why? Why?
What are you going to get out of that? Oh my goodness.
I wonder if they have to go play on Tuesday. No, because there's only like one game, like a couple games Tuesday. Imagine you had to play that preseason and then go play the next day. That would be awful. But
that seems very bizarre that you have that preseason game that close to the start of the regular season. But we know NBA preseason begins tomorrow. Oh, today's Friday. Tonight we got the Lakers in action. Oh my goodness, that's right. How did I forget that? Oh my, we got a lot of people. No one's asked for it yet, but I'm sure once it starts, once they see it on TV, people are going to want those preseason picks in NBA.
One's early. One starts at noon. One's a day game.
Yeah, I think LeBron's not even playing in his first one. He's going to be at home watching his freak off videos.
Oh my goodness.
Does the one start at noon in Abu Dhabi? Is it in Abu Dhabi or something?
He's not doing those NFL pick videos anymore. He used to do that all the time and give out his NFL picks. You know.
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
Sorry.
ETHAD Arena? Where's the ETHAD Arena? That's where they're playing.
Never heard of that one.
No, me either. ETHAD.
That's right. I forgot the NBA. I know the T-Wolves are playing the Lakers tonight. That was the one that I.
Wow. Okay, it's starting.
Yeah, they're going to start. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got Lions. Okay, so the neutral site games. The Lakers are playing in Palm Desert tonight, which is about an hour and a half drive for me. I don't know, hour drive for me. So we got the T-Wolves favored 4.5 on the road, total 218. The play there overseas, Celtics and Nuggets. Celtics 2.5 on the road. And then we got one of those. We're going to have some of these international teams against U.S. teams. We got New Zealand Breakers. I think we saw them last year at Utah. The Jazz, 28-point favorite against the New Zealand Breakers tonight.
Give it the New Zealand Breakers plus the 28.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Give me the
right,
New
yeah.
Zealand Breakers plus the 28. And then
Yeah.
give me the Nuggets
I
here
agree
early,
with you,
in this
Mr.
one.
Weskers.
I'll take the
I
Nuggets
agree
plus
with
the
you
3.5.
Take all the dogs. Take all the dogs money line.
Yeah.
All the dogs money line. You'll probably come out money.
Yeah, those international teams did not have good luck last year. Who was it? I think it was a team from Korea last year. There's another one that just got pounded every game. Oh my goodness. There was one from oh my goodness. I can't remember. China. Oh, the one from China was the one that got pounded.
They were bad, yeah. I expected them to come in. Oh, this might be a good challenge. They waxed them.
They got pounded every game last year. I remember that one. All right, so there's some NBA. Keep an eye on NBA TV. See if you can find some. But it's gonna be tough to get WNBA going. But maybe they'll put. I know the Laker game will be on TV. It's out there in Vegas and out here in LA.
It's almost a 12-hour difference between games today.
Wow.
One's at noon and one's at almost one's at 12 Eastern, 12 p.m. Eastern, and the other one's almost at 12 Eastern.
10:40 Eastern.
12
Yeah,
a.m.
that's a
Eastern.
late
Yeah,
one.
10:40 Eastern.
Kings and Timberwolves Lakers. We'll be playing in Palm Desert. They have a nice stadium at a building by the casino. I think they're going to play there. So keep an eye there. All right, before we close out the show, guys, any last thoughts, closing thoughts on anything? Wait for the weekend?
Ready for a big weekend. Massive weekend ahead.
Go Michigan State, go UNLV.
There you go. That'll do it, guys, for the weekend. Bye, guys. You guys make it a winning day. We're back tomorrow on the Noise Morning Show, 9:30 Eastern.
Peace, everybody.